Alright, what's going on, guys? It's been quite a while. I'm back now before I travel again. So next month I'm going to Singapore. Last month I was in Australia. And then the other day I was in Hong Kong. So I'm back now before I'm going to travel again. Today we are going to talk about something practical rather than the technical things in other clips. We are going to talk about how to get through that NEC 4 ECC Project Manager Assessment. A lot of you are going through that, and it's not an easy assessment at all. It's a multiple choice question set, and you need to get 60% correct before you can get a pass. So, how do you do it? There are many different skills that you need to develop. One of the most important skill sets is what I call translation. Translation. What I mean is you do not memorize the contract. If you memorize the contract, you probably will make mistakes. Especially when nowadays the experience outside may not exactly align with what the contract requires. We understand this industry is improving, we understand that. But that is a pitfall. If you rely on your memories, different contracts are different. Different projects are different. And especially in NEC, you may have a lot of set clauses as well. So when you go through the assessment, you translate whatever situation in front of you into the contractual terminologies. In other words, you need to understand the language of the contract. Once you understand the language of the contract, you identify the keyword, and then you look it up in the index section. And in the index section, you will look at the numbers next to that term. And the numbers are not the page numbers. The numbers are the clause numbers. Once you have got the right clause number, you go to that clause, you read that clause, like word by word. If it doesn't work, go for another keyword. The index page is not perfect, although they try their very best to make it very useful. But the index section is not perfect. If one keyword doesn't work, try another one. As time goes on, as you practice and practice and practice, then you will understand how the contract is operating. So let me give you an example. For example, let me hide myself. For example, if I go for this one, now on the screen here, this is a real example. I just replace some of the terms here, some of the names here, by the client and senior engineer here, like you see, because I don't want to disclose the names. Now this is a real email. So the client asked me, Dear Gordon, the client informed that a private car has trespassed into the site area and then damaged the contractor's plant and some completed works. The contractor has claimed compensation for both cost and time. Please advise the following issues. And there are 3 questions here. Number 1, it says, is it an insurance claim or a compensation event? Number 2, if it is a compensation event, which clause applies? Number 3, how can the contractor claim any loss for the time and cost implication as a result from such incidents? Should you have any queries, please contact me. Thanks. In fact, they are having queries on me, not me having queries on them. So then, now if I want to answer that question, then what to do? Then for new users especially, also for new contract advisors, like 1 year of experience, few months of experience, they just started. They will have a lot of ideas just suddenly appearing in their mind, and they will say, oh my goodness, this issue, that issue, this issue, that issue, and then all of a sudden everything just you will be overwhelmed. But don't get carried away. You translate the situation into some keywords and look them up one by one. For example, in the previous example, if I show you the example once again, here, let's do number 1. Is it an insurance claim or a compensation event? Talking about a car crash. So here they say trespass is not a trespass. In fact, it was a car crash. So you translate the keyword into the contractual terminologies or contractual language. If you look it up for an insurance claim, you will never see any clause in the index section. Why? Because that term insurance claim does not exist in the contract. In fact, this number 1 can be rephrased as the following. They may ask, is it a contractor's liability or a compensation event, then very obvious. The keyword here is contractor's liabilities. Or some of you may think, oh, maybe it's a client's liabilities. Doesn't matter. So the keyword is either contractor's liabilities or client's liabilities. So let's say you pick one. You say, oh, I forgot which one is which. You pick one. Let's say you pick contractor's liabilities. Then you go to the index section. If you have got a contract with you, okay, if you go to page, let me see. If you go to page 101 of your contract, NEC 4 ECC, at the back end of your contract, you look to the right hand side of the contract, you will see client's liabilities. And you see clause 80. Let's say you pick client's liabilities for the time being, for discussion's sake. And then you see 80. So 80 is not the page number. 80 is the clause numbers. Let's say if you want to pay contractor's liability, then you look for the word contractor. You look for the contractor. It will be on page 103. If you go for the word contractor towards the right hand side, then you will see contractor liabilities. Then they will point you to clause 81.1. So as simple as that. So if you do that a number of times, and then you will sort of memorize which clause to go for. But as a start, if you go for the index page, then you look it up. Once you have got the right terminology, then you get the right contract clause, then you look it up. So if you go to clause 81.1, contractor's liabilities, you look it up. Is it on the list? And then it says, whatever is not the client's liabilities, is a contractor's liabilities. Then you go to client's liabilities. You just looked it up. 80.1. Is it on the list? So it's just an example. So if it is on the list of the client's liabilities, then you say, no, it's not a contractor's liabilities. As simple as that. Then you go on for the next issue, whether it's a compensation event or not. So this is just one of the skill sets here. There are so many types of skill sets that I can talk about. For example, how to identify the issues. For us engineers here, most of the time, the first step of identifying the issues is the most difficult one. It's not about memorizing the contract, it's identifying the issues. So if you read that contract, if you read your situation, can you identify what sort of problems are in front of you? Then you translate that problem to the key terms, then you go to the index section, and then you look it up. That is how you get a pass, by the way. Now, let me give you another example. For example, if you are talking about claims, and you want to look up extension of time, you will never see the word extension of time. Why? Because in NEC, you only have compensation events. You don't have extension of time. If you want to look up prolongation, you will never see prolongation. Why? Because in NEC, we don't talk about prolongation cost. So it's all about compensation events. So for example, one day, certain police just came by, and then they said, stop work. Oh, wow. So, what should the contractor do? So, who are they? Then you translate the term police. Obviously, you cannot see the word police in the index section. Then you translate them to others. Big letter O, others, a defined term. Look it up. Then you look up what are the contractor's responsibilities in relation to others. For example, you need to cooperate with others. For example, you need to provide and obtain the information from others as necessary. Now, what if it is a contractor design? Who is the one who is responsible to get the approval for the design from those other people? For example, some authorities. Then you go to contractor's responsibilities. Why? Because you know that is either the client's responsibility or the contractor's responsibility. You pick one. You pick contractor's responsibility, then you look it up. You will go to 727.1. The contractor is to obtain approval for its design from others when necessary. So it's not about memories. It's not about memories at all. It's about how you use the contract, how you look up the contract like a dictionary. As time goes by, you will memorize some of the contract clauses, and next time round, you don't need to look it up. So these are the skills, and that is the reason why, for assessment purpose, you are given 30 days to practice. You don't need to rush. So I hope this is helpful for you. Now I'm thinking about making more videos for the time to come. The only thing is nowadays I don't have much time, but I will try to keep up. Some of you sort of chase me to make more videos for you. Okay, so I hope this is helpful for you. If you can choose in person. Choose in-person training. Is way more engaging. It's way more interesting. And if you see me, I will make sure you stay awake. Goodbye.